It is better to commit mistakes on the path that one soul is meant to walk on than to live a perfect life on a path that is not meant for one soul. Hello, everyone. Today we are having a Mugdha with us. She's a traveler, dog parent, and intentional lifestyle design coach. Hi, Mugdha. How are you?
Hi, Priya. I'm really good. Thank you for doing this today.
First of all, thank you so much for taking out your precious time and coming on this show. So, Mugdha, the quote which I just read right now, it's from Bhagavad Gita, and why it is so close to you.
It took me a long while to even realize that it is from the Bhagavad Gita. But when I read it, I realized that this is what has been missing and what I should probably explore a little bit more. So, a very short brief about me. So, I have had a very good life. So, I have really done good in academics. I have studied abroad. I have traveled multiple countries and continents and across India. And I've also been very privileged in terms of having a very supportive family, right from my core family to extended family to friends. And I have also explored multidisciplinary work profiles also while traveling and working. But even then, there always used to be a restlessness in me. So there used to be these times when I feel that this is not what I am supposed to be doing, or am I really supposed to be doing this? Like, finish your college, finish your grad, undergrad, postgrad, get a job, start saving, get married, have a kid, and nothing wrong in that. I want to do all of those things, right? I mean, they make up a big part of my life right now, also. I
Mhm.
still felt that there's something that I'm not in the right place at the right time as yet. I haven't, like, found my place, my space as such. And one of those travels, so I generally travel for 6 weeks alone to the Himalayas. I've been doing that for almost 8 to 10 years now. And
Okay.
I take that time. The first time I'd gone there, I came across this quote when talking to a stranger, and they said that it was said in a very indirect manner, but the entire premise was that you are not doing something that makes your soul happy. You're not doing something that fulfills your soul, right? You're doing everything that is probably like, being told to you. You have grown up hearing about, you have grown up being expected out of you that yes, you should get good grades, you should graduate, you should get married, you should be a good like, daughter, good wife, good mother, or all of it. But there's something more that you look for. Probably there's a higher calling, or maybe there is something that you're just supposed to be doing on an everyday basis, which you haven't looked for as yet. And that made me think a lot. So I have gone from, like, a profile of an architect to heritage management to rural tourism head to an associate professor. And everywhere I felt after 3 to 4 years that I need to be doing something different. And only when in 2020, early 2020, I came across this life coach, and we had a very impromptu discussion, another one during one of our travels. And I realized that, life coaching is more about the present and the future
Mhm.
than about anything that has happened in the past.
Yes.
I mean, you can, no matter what you're beginning, you can rewrite the ending, or you can rewrite the next day or the next chapter.
Mhm.
And that's where it clicked, that this is what I want to be doing. I want to do it for myself, and for the rest of my professional life or my working life, I actually want to spend my working time also helping someone be in the right place at the right time, helping someone make their life count, helping someone, like, make them feel good about themselves, as in. And that's when I started exploring the entire whole industry and domain of coaching. I am now certified, so I've got about 7 certifications. So they're everything from leadership coach to corporate trainer to
Mhm.
executive coach and all of it. And it's been about 10 months that I'm now a practicing coach. And every single time I have a session, no matter what is happening in my life, there are times when I've been really down and frustrated and too many things not happening. But if I have a coaching session scheduled 5 minutes before the session and I'm all there, like, absolutely present, And by the end of that 50-55 minute coaching session, I'm re-energized. And
Okay.
you feel that I am in the right place at the right time. I hope that this is helpful for my client. And when my client comes back and says that it really helped me clear my head and made me think clearer or do better, I feel so much better about myself. And that is when that quote made full sense to me. So I may not be earning as much as I was in those full time roles or senior leadership roles and so, right? But this is a path I'm meant to walk on. And this is a path that I should continue to walk on. It is so much more than about designation or roles or job description or your KPIs and etc. etc. So yeah, that's one of the quotes that I begin my sessions with.
Okay, okay, great. So being a traveler, I came to know that you visited 140 plus unknown dots on the map, and where you discussed about the Indian culture, heritage, and all those things. So I want to know your experience on that.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. So, believe it or not, Atithi Devo Bhava, what we are known for is more deeply and very brilliantly experienced in all of our rural areas. I
Mm-hmm.
have traveled alone. Like, I know there is a lot of stigma around like a single woman traveling across India, within India and outside India also. But I have traveled alone across all of these villages and across all of these states. And trust me, the villagers have been so welcoming. If you are ready to accept the cultural diversity, if you are ready to respect them, irrespective of what your expectations are, I think there are phenomenal experiences waiting for you. All of the villages that I've visited have been under the premise of kind of developing them for as a rural tourism as a secondary livelihood. So when the agricultural livelihoods are not enough or sufficient, or climate change affects their income, so how can you subsidize it by using rural tourism initiatives? So
Mm-hmm.
I have been like working and documenting all of these villages for knowing what are they known for, what are their cultural practices, what are their unique which happens by just having a a cup of tea sitting on the Arabian Sea coast, or a cup of tea sitting on the top of a fort, and you just have an open discussion. And I have no idea. I have got so much of photographs, so many stories that they're just lying there on my computer somewhere and on my hard drive. And one of these days, I am sure I'm going to like publish it or put them together, because the face of these villages are also changing. I revisited one of those villages after 5 years, and one entire fort was gone. I mean, it isn't there anymore. And I still have photographs of the bastions and the fort gates and the fortifications. And I feel that it's very important somewhere for them also to know that this is how it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm also hoping to publish all of my research and documentation on it. But yes, to everyone, I mean, you should really explore our rural India.
So Mugdha, you are the answer to all those people जो कहते हैं कि girl should not go outside alone from the house, they should not go there, they should not go at night and all those things. You are the answer to all those people, and at the same time you are inspiration for all those women who want to go on a solo trip but they are not getting power to go. तो मुग्धा like solo trip like ये तो आपके like फैमिली ने आपको इजी अलाउ कर दिया था कि ओके मुग्धा यू कैन गो एंड विजिट के कुछ challenges आए थे?
It was easy. I mean, they didn't understand it completely. So my dad comes from a very rural village, and he's one of the most liberal and progressive persons you can ever find in the world. So he is more like you should make your own mistakes and learn from them. My mom obviously is more concerned about my safety and where I go, but I mean, she's been raising me for so many years, right? There came a point where she also realized that I am kind of like trapped, or keeping me in one place and keeping me in my room and only in one city or one state. It just makes me into a very watered down or a washed out version of me. And then she sees me traveling. So once she saw the impact that it had on me, she's been one of the greatest champions. So she's like, "Acha, theek hai." I went to UK for my studies, and there was a gap between the convocation and my studies getting over. She's like, "Why are you coming back to India? Go travel wherever you want to go. Go travel, see the world, you come back, and then you do your convocation, then you come back." Now she knows that I go every year. So even after getting married, also she's like, "Acha, where are you going next now?" And so she's concerned. So she wants to know, have I boarded the flight? Have I like departed? Have I reached? Have I checked in? And all of it. But once I reach a place, even in the Himalayas or wherever, I've now kind of like conditioned all of them that once I reach a place, I am gone. I will call you after 15 days, after 1 month or whatever, and I'll be back for the
Okay.
better.
So after marriage, you still go on solo trips?
I do, yes.
Okay, so where did you visit?
I've been to the north itself. I've also been to the western. I've been to Gujarat. And now I'm like, it's been a year since we got a dog. So now I don't want to go alone. I at least want to take my dog with me. So the next travel we are planning, both my husband and we are planning is to take a road trip from here to the north with our dog.
Okay, okay. So Mugdha, you also mentioned you are a dog parent. So I want to know about your dog, and if possible, I want to see.
You want to see? Okay, just a minute. I've got a 1-year-old cocker spaniel. Simba,
Oh, so sweet.
this is Simba. This is Simba. Hi, Abu.
Okay, he understand that his name is Simba.
Of course. He understands all my language. He understands sit, stand, namaste, speak, go, eat. He knows all of it. Okay?
So could you please share any one of the memorable memory you have with him?
So it is his birth story. So he's from one of my sister's dog's litter. And I don't think you can see him right now. So there you go.
Okay.
So he's from my sister's litter, and her dog, she's got a female dog. She had 6 puppies, and they happened like till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon or so. And then we were talking at 9 o'clock or so. Hey, there are 6 puppies in the house, and Coffee, that is her dog's name. She's also very tired, and this and that. Some 9:30 we were talking. All of a sudden, she starts screaming like, "Oh my God, there's one more popping out! Oh my God, what's happening?" And she just threw the phone and she went running somewhere. And then she comes back and says, "One more popped out." She's like, "What has he been doing inside? Like, for so long. It's been like, so many hours since the rest of them came out." And then I was like, you know what? That's my puppy. I'm going to adopt him. Because I am Feb born. My husband is Feb born. So we were just like, ki, Achha, we need an Aquarian, like, who will understand us or so. So he's born on 25th of February. And I was sure that I want to adopt. I don't want to buy from a breeder or so. So this is like from my sister's litter, born in February, and he's got a story to him. He came in at 9:30 when nobody expected him, the last one of the litter, and I was like, okay, that's going to be my dog. Like it's high time now.
Okay, great. So he exactly understands like what are you saying to him or what are you
Yes.
expecting from him?
Yes, he understands Marathi. He understands let's go, chal. He understands whether to eat or not. He understands when somebody comes. He does namaste also. He'll greet you when
Oh,
you come. So it's a part of training. So the first 6 months you train them and they pretty much learn everything you want them to.
oh, great, great. So Mugdha, in the starting, आपकी struggle काफी रही है, like where you were finding the question what you need to do in your life at the same time you were working hard to weight loss करना था आपको अपना and so on things. So वो experience आपका कैसे रहा, like कैसे आपने खुद को, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे ऐसा होता है ना कुछ नेगेटिव थॉट्स भी बनना शुरू हो जाते हैं कहीं ना कहीं पे, एंड बट उसको ओवरकम करना, उसको अपने आप को कंट्रोल करना, एंड एक उस टाइम पे इफ यू वांट टू गो फॉर वेट लॉस आपको एक प्रॉपर डिसिप्लिन फॉलो करना होता है. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट कभी एक कभी वो. तो आई वांट टू नो अबाउट दैट एक्सपीरियंस.
Um, it was quite difficult, and there has been a dark period when nothing made sense because too much of it was me trying to fit into the mold, right? And I knew that I am not, I am a misfit, at least in the convention sense of the word. And there were so many things happening around me, like my friends who had done engineering or so. Within 4 years, they had gotten good packages and started earning a lot and started having a better life. Mine is in 5-year course, so I was still studying. Post studying, I was in the UK. But after coming back from the UK, everybody was like, moving on with their lives, and I was like in one place where there was a period that I'd put on a lot of weight, and my friends are getting married, or they are getting promoted, or they are moving out of India and doing a lot of things. And at home also, there was this entire environment of now what it's high time, like abhi pehle shadi karo aur uske baad mein baki dekhenge. Now you first get married, then you go travel. You first get married, then you think about doing something. I want to do a PhD. So at that time, they were like, no, pehle shaadi kar lo, fir PhD ke baare mein socho. Everything had become about that. And then, like, your weight and the way you look comes into focus. And everybody I met during those times, even for arranged marriage or so, it's a very horrifying process. It's a very horrifying process when you are not ready for it, and you know that you're a misfit, and you know that the person in front of you is trying to kind of like fit you into a picture that he or she has. And but for me, the salvation has been traveling. I mean, I even hit a very very low point where nothing, like, I was almost at the point of depression, or I just didn't want to do anything more. But that was a time when one of my best friends. So I've got three best friends. We have been friends for 29 years now, and we talk almost every day. All four of us are in different countries and different states, but we talk almost every day. And she signed me up for this post disaster relief fund, relief program. So when the Uttarakhand disaster happened, and there was this team going in from Delhi, the UNESCO team, to document the post disaster impact on the cultural heritage sites. And she signed me up for this, and I was absolutely at a low point. It had been about 6 weeks or so that I had not gotten out of my room. I was not talking to people, to my family. I was not eating. I was not speaking as such. And she signed me up for this, and I was like, okay, I'll go. Maybe I'll not come back. I don't know what's happening, but I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And I went to Uttarakhand, and I still cannot completely describe the situation over there, but just that I went for about 2 weeks, but within the first 3 or 4 days, the sheer magnitude of disaster. I mean, there are stories which I don't think you want to hear right now, but a couple of them, like, everything had like just flown, and just like, they had lost it. So there was this one person sitting on a rock, and I asked him, why are you sitting here? As in, like, he was completely lost, unable to speak coherently. I said, why are you sitting here? And he just looked at me blankly, and he was like, सब बह गया. यहाँ पर मेरा घर था, मेरा दुकान था, मेरी बीवी थी, मेरे 3 बच्चे थे, मेरा गांव था, वो पूरा बह गया. मुझे नहीं पता मैं जिंदा क्यों. ऐसे he was sitting on a spot where an entire village used to be, and it was no more. And I was like, अभी आप क्या करोगे? आप मेरे साथ चलो, कुछ खाना खा लेते हैं, कुछ करते हैं. तो he's like, नहीं नहीं, सब बह गया, सब बह गया, अब कुछ नहीं, अब बह गया. ऐसे. And I was like, नहीं नहीं, आप चलिए, आप पानी पीजिए, आप चलिए, कुछ खाइए. To this date, I don't remember what we did after that, but that moment is so much in my memory that it reset me mentally. Like, all of the things that used to trouble me. I am overweight. I am still overweight. But though I'm now married, I have a dog, and I have so many other things happening in my life right now. At that point of time, the sheer fact that my mom thinks I'm fat, and she thinks that, because I'm not married, I'm not worthy of being loved or so. And I don't know, like, so many things go around in your mind, right? But an experience like this, like, kind of makes you think about, what are you obsessing over? You're alive, you're happy, you've got a family, and you can do anything you want in your life. You're not disabled, you have all the resources available to you, and there is no constraint on you. It's only a mental block about how you think and what you do. Probably that was the moment. After that trip, on my way back from Uttarakhand, I was in Delhi for a while. In Delhi, I went and got a tattoo for myself which says Wanderlust. So I've got this huge
Yeah,
tattoo
my
on
next
my
question
hand.
is on your tattoo only, what you covered.
Yeah, so I've got a tattoo on my hand, and that was a promise to myself. As in, like, every time you feel that life doesn't make sense to you, and you have to fit into somewhere where you don't fit, get up, take your bag, go to a new place, expose yourself to something else. Don't get stuck in, like, कि इसी कुएं के मेंढक बनकर, like, you kind of get stuck in the fact कि अच्छा इसको दूसरा बेटा हुआ, अच्छा उसका ये हुआ, अच्छा इसका ये हुआ. Everybody's got their story. Literally everybody's got a unique story, right? And you have to write your own. You have to live your own. You can't even live your parents' marriage. You can't live your brother's life. You can't live your best friend's life. You can't even live your husband's life for that matter. After marriage, I've understood. You have to live your life, and you decide what you want to make out of it. You be overweight, you be obese, you be like, challenged, like emotionally stunted,
Yes.
whatever it is, but you make it your own and own the story. And probably that's been the turning point. So this happened in 2013. So since 2013 now, I've been like,
Okay,
every
so
time you feel it, you go get over it.
so 2013 was the turning point where you realize, explore yourself, and in 2022 you have gone for a certified coaching professional.
Yes.
Okay. So Mugdha, I think like आपने you were into depression, then you came out of it, and you find your own path. दो आपके पास सब कुछ था उस time पे, like you told, higher education, अच्छी family, अच्छा खाना पीना, but still something was missing, you told, inside you, and you go and then you search it, then you tell how did you lose the weight and how you tackle all these things. And yeah, I think that instead of comparing ourselves to another people, we should compare ourselves to with ourselves only, like क्योंकि हम सबके फेस अलग हैं, इसलिए कि क्योंकि भगवान ने हमें यूनिक बनाया है, तो we are unique, okay, and we should, instead of comparing ourselves to other people, we should write our own story. So your page name is your own superhero. So ये कहाँ से आइडिया आया, like इस पेज का मतलब ये
my husband is a big comic and superhero and world is ending stories fan, and he keeps watching all of this, and I keep watching it passively or indirectly, and and I keep, like, out of our conversation, what kept happening was that he keeps telling me that I am like Hanuman. Like Hanuman ji ko apni khud ki takat ka अंदाजा नहीं था.
yes,
So he
true.
says that he always had to be activated by someone, कि कोई बोलेगा और करेगा तो उस पे पावर, ऐसा पावर आ जाएगा कि दुनिया में कोई भी उसको ये नहीं कर सकता. And he says कि you are like that, like you can't, like generate that thing on your own, but you see somebody being, like facing injustice. Now for my students, for the villagers, I am a lioness. So for my students have gone on a strike for me because I used to fight for them, and then they terminated me and suspended me, and then my students went on a strike, and so a lot of like activism and drama has happened. But there I don't lack confidence. There I feel like, that how dare you, like do something like that to my students, like I'm going to fight for them. But when it used to come to me, I used to have very, very low confidence and an inferiority complex. And over a period of time, working on myself, self coaching, talking to others, especially my husband, he says that, ki superhero is not someone with super powers or unnatural powers. It is just what they believe. They believe that they can do it. The moment you feel now that, let's say your superpower is your protective instinct, now you work on that. Your superpower probably is your will to be a kingmaker. You don't want to see. Today, me doing an interview with you is something that wouldn't have happened about a year and a half ago. I would have been like, I don't want to be seen on camera. I don't want to be, like, in the limelight or the spotlight. Rather, you talk to my students or my clients and so. But now I realize it's a part of it. He's like, you have to know how you look at yourself, and how others look at you is defined by how you define it. Find your superpower for it, right? And I feel if that is applied, you don't have to wait for somebody else to come and do it for you. You all have superpowers inside you. Yours might be like, the beautiful way that you can actually talk to people or like create these recordings. Everybody has their superpower.
True.
And if only everybody could think of themselves in the manner like, I am my own superhero. I will fight my villains. I will find my cause, and I will make sure that I walk the path that I am supposed to walk on. That's what a superhero does, right? There is a evil, there is a villain, and there is obstacles, and they just keep plod through it for a cause, and they do it. Like, do it for yourself. Be your own superhero. I love that tagline. मुझे से एक conversation में आ गया था, and I was like, if only we became our own superhero, I think we would be the
Yes.
superstars of our life. And
Yeah.
that's my own coaching program, or like the niche that I have picked up.
Okay. So I think villains are your negative thoughts, which you need to fight with them. So, Mugdha, I want to know about your business. Like, how do you run your classes and all about your coaching things?
So all of my coaching sessions are online or on the phone. So you can book it via the website itself, or you can talk to me directly or so. I also do training programs for corporates as well as for youth. So I love working with the age groups of 18 to 35, 40 or so, and then somewhere, because they all are like at different transition phases. It's only like
Mhm.
until 18 you're like acha autopilot per hai, tuck 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 is defined. And after 50, 55 also certain things are like what you want or so. ये बीच वाला जो part है ना, where there are so many biases, there are so many like villains all around you and within you also. And I feel that just one conversation can make a difference. One single conversation, a meaningful one, can help you find clarity and where you want to be.
Mhm.
So that's how I launched it. So my training programs are all about productivity and how you make your time count, and my coaching programs are all about how do you live a life aligned to your values. So I value aspirational pursuits. I value collaboration over competition. So how do you live that? I don't want to get into a rat race की अच्छा ये लोग आपको 3,000 में दे रहे तो मैं 2,000 में कर दूंगी. I never do that. I am always like let's do it together. Even with the coaching or training, all of it. So my entire like training and coaching, both of it. I am also the founder of a company which is Timekeepers Consultants. So that's the training part of it, and we train emerging professionals for it. And the coaching is something very close to my heart, so I have a separate key that you can reach out to me
Okay.
individually for life coaching.
Okay. So, do you have any special memory with any one of your clients? Though every client is important, but any special memory with any client which makes you feel motivated every day?
There's one client I was coaching for productivity, so it was
Mhm.
a coaching session, and she used to be very very anxious and very overwhelmed with everything happening around, and she was preparing for competitive exams also, and probably like should I get married or should I prepare for this or should I do what all, and so was happening. And we were on a 6 week coaching program. I remember that after the third week, something just happened, and during a coaching session all of a sudden it was like a bulb went on, and she's like, oh my god, if I follow what we've been talking about after a very 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 long time, I think I can dance again. I think I can bring dance back into my life. I used to dance every day, I used to practice, I used to go for socials, and I used to do this. But it's been like 3 or 4 years that I've been so caught up in the rest of it. It's been unthinkable कि हो ही नहीं सकता है. And she says ki just the fact, I think I can do it again. That was during the coaching session, and then the next day or 2 3 days after that, she messaged me saying, Mugdha, I could sleep better. After a very long time, I could sleep better just with the thought that sometime in the next few weeks, I'm going to start dancing again. I'm going to have time to water my plants. I'm going to have time to go for a walk while not having to quit my job or not having to, sacrifice anything. And I think that was beautiful. I mean, it's a very small thing, right? Nobody else cares about the fact that she can dance again. I don't think anybody cares about that. But the
Exactly.
fact that she feels so elated about it, for me was like, okay, right place, right time. I'm glad I could be here. As in, yeah. So I remember that.
Great. I think मुझे सुनने में कितनी खुशी हो रही थी ना. The way she told I can see better, and all those things. And still you are the one who gives coaching. So after like you were so much excited and overwhelmed, and it motivates you every day. So Mugdha, that's all from my side. Do you have any questions to ask?
No, absolutely not. I think it's
Okay.
been great talking to you.
Thank you so much, Mugdha, for your precious time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you.